welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nuru Kibare, and today I will be unboxing the Sony ZV-1F camera, as well as going over some essential add-on products that you will need, because when I bought this camera I thought that all I needed was the camera, but that is far from the truth. You need a lot more than that. I've had this camera for about a month now, so I am making this video as someone who has had the camera for a month, tested it out, made videos, edited videos, and posted videos, and is returning the camera. So stay tuned for my explanation on everything, as well as my personal reviews and thoughts, and let's get right into it. Also, I will be switching to my iPhone, so the quality of this video will dramatically decrease, but I do need to unbox the camera that I'm currently filming with. Okay, so this is how it came. Straight from Sony. The box was a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be. It's literally this small, and also I got really scared because the picture was black, but I ordered a white one, but I got a white one. So, all right, this is the camera in the box that it comes with. Ignore my nails, by the way, guys. I know they need to be done. We have the manuals. And this thing opens up like this, and then we have the camera, if I can take it out, the battery in this little compartment, we have the wind puff, charger, as well as some papers that are specific to your camera. So this is the box. It's really small, like the size of my palm type of small. I'm going to first start off with the camera because I know this is really what we all care about. It's like really interesting packaging. You open it up. Here she is in all her glory. I was really shocked about how small this camera is. Like, this is literally my hand, and it's the size of my hand. And it comes with like a little camera cover that you just open and close, and the view that flips out to see yourself. It also goes like twists up and down. We have the wind puff in this little envelope. There we go. This is a little wind puff, so cute, and just like that. So that's that. Next, in this little other compartment, the battery, which I will talk about the battery life later in this video because, yeah. This is a battery, really small. This is also a charger because you can charge the battery with this. And it's a USB-C, so like for me, I like to use my MacBook charger. I'm not fully sure if that's like safe to do, but that's kind of what I did and it worked. So this is pretty much all that you get in the back, other than the manual, but this is all you get, which this is not enough, because if I insert this battery, it will give you this no card message, and without a card, if I try filming, no memory card, cannot record movie, so it cannot film at all. So this camera is pretty much useless if there's no memory card in it, which I will talk about that in a second. There are specific memory cards you have to buy if you want the same outcome that everyone else has. I actually bought two. I'm gonna start off with this one. This is the Extreme Pro SanDisk 128GB SD card, and I think it was around $15 to $16 on Amazon. I definitely want the cheap route with everything, with all the other accessories I got for the camera, but I feel like one thing you cannot try and like get the dupe of is the SD card, because you want a reliable SD card. You don't want to like spend an hour or a whole day filming something to go and try and import it and something gets messed up or like the card can't read it. Like, you want to invest in a good SD card. I've never had an issue with SanDisk. I know a lot of most YouTubers do also use SanDisk. 128GB. I personally wish I would have gotten 215, but it's okay. That's why I ended up getting two, because this wasn't enough. So make sure like 4K Ultra, so you can shoot in 4K, that's what you need if you want good videos, is 4K. The second one that I bought a week or two after I had the camera was this one, which is different than this one, even though it looks the same. This is the Extreme Pro, this is the Extreme Plus. This is also 64GB, this is 128GB. If you can see right here, this has a slower speed than this one. Although I didn't really notice much of a difference when I was editing with both cards, but that's it for SD cards. Although with SD cards, you need a way to put them into your computer, because most computers or laptops nowadays don't just have an SD card slot anymore. So what I did to connect it to my computer, because I have a MacBook Pro and it has this type of port. I bought this USB-C, connects pretty flawlessly, pretty sturdy, and then you literally just put the SD card in here, and then on your computer a folder will pop up under the name of Untitled, or actually I got two different names based off which SD card that I entered, but most likely it'll say Untitled or something, and then you click on it, it'll give you two options like private or M4 root, something like that. I hit M4 root and then I hit clip, and then that's where all my footage popped up. But you can download this app like with the QR code that was on the manual, and it's called like the Creators app or something like that. And then you connect it to your camera, and then you can import photos directly from your camera to your phone without needing any like adaptation. Like it just connects over Wi-Fi. I don't know how that works. And on that app, it has all the photos that you took on your camera, and you can easily just save it to your photos, or they can just sit on the app if you want to, and then it won't take up as much storage as it will being on your Photos app. So that's what I did to have access to all my photos. And then so these are really your essentials to the camera. Like this is all you truly need to make videos. Obviously this thing depends on your computer, because I know some laptops or computers just have an SD card slot, but I know most don't nowadays. So if you get anything, get these and get this version of the SanDisk. I know they have so many different Hello. So I'm now filming on my camera because my phone just ran out of storage, which I guess this is perfect so you guys can see how the camera does film and what it will look like. It does obviously have, it naturally has a wide angle, which is what I like, because I know a lot of YouTubers buy cameras and then they buy a wide angle lens on top of that, which is just making it a lot more expensive than it needs to be. But the Sony ZV-1F naturally has a wider angle. I did not know the difference between a ZV-1F and a ZV-1, but the main appearance difference that I noticed was the type of camera. You don't really notice it when you first get the camera, but if you look at the Sony ZV-1, the Sony ZV-1, it has like lens that close and open, and it's like a little square. This, it's just a big circle. So that definitely, like, any like lens accessory for a ZV-1 does not fit the ZV-1F because they are two completely different cameras. But with that, I will continue the rest of the video on my ZV-1F because I don't know why my phone is acting up, because I still have 10 whole gigabytes of storage on my phone. I don't know why it quit working. Moving on, I'm going to talk about a tripod because that's just, I don't even think I need to explain the importance of a tripod. It just makes filming so much easier, and you're able to set your camera down really easily. I bought the literal cheapest tripod. I bought the literal cheapest tripod off of Amazon because, once again, you guys, I was trying to be on a budget. I got this one. I don't remember exactly how much it was. I'm pretty sure it was around $10. If I could, I would buy a different tripod, honestly, because, okay, I'll explain it in a second. I'm gonna unbox this. It comes in this little like clear bag, and then it also comes with a cover, this little case holder for it. I've never used it. This is the tripod. It comes with a little like hand thing, which I love because I just feel safe like having it, because if I drop it, boom. And that actually has happened before where and it was on my wrist and I was able to keep the camera safe. But it has this thing, you just twist it onto the thing, like at the bottom of the camera it has a little hole, so you just literally twist it until it stays. And then it has these legs which you cute, just had an airplane fly over my house. Pop out like kind of sideways in a way, and then you just set your camera down and it films. And then also you can, like, there's this button to like twist it different ways. I will say that setting this down a lot of the times was really frustrating because the camera, I wish I could show you with the camera, but I can't. I'm gonna take a picture really quick and then just show you from my phone. The hole on the, okay, focus. The hole on the camera is not in the middle, and it makes balancing the camera really difficult because you have all of this heaviness over here and you have just like the viewfinder right there, and it was always leaning. towards the battery pack. It's always leaning like this anytime you try to set it up, which makes it really frustrating trying to balance it and it be a straight shot. So that's something that also I did not like about the camera, is the fact that the little twisting thing was on the side and not in the center. There is an extension you can buy off of Amazon that will make it in the middle, but then I understand the reason though why they have it on the side, because even though this thing is on the tripod, I can still easily like take an SD card out, put an SD card in, take the battery out, take the battery in. So it makes that process really seamless because you don't have to take the camera off of the tripod to now change the battery and all that. But I find myself trying to place it down more than I'm changing the battery or the SD card. So I kind of just wish I'd rather have it in the middle. So like placing it down would be a lot easier. So that's the one thing. And I also feel like this camera made it harder too, because it can only go like this. And it's like balancing off of these two sticks. Like I'd rather get the tripod that comes with the three little whatevers. I feel like that would have been a lot easier, but with this one, it was so hard. So that was also an issue that I kept coming across with this camera and with this tripod. They do not really mix that well together. I mean, they get the job done. I'll say that, they get the job done. But it doesn't make it as convenient as it probably could be. So that is that. If you're concerned about convenience, this might not be the best tripod to get. If you're worried about price, this does the job and it worked perfectly fine for me. So next, I'll be talking about battery life. Let's just say, in this video already that I filmed, I just had to take one of the batteries out of the extra battery pack I had to put it in this camera. The battery life on the Sony ZV-1F camera sucks. It is horrible. It is like, I don't know, like if it's gonna be that bad, at least send more than one battery with the camera, because one battery is not gonna be enough. You're gonna constantly have to be recharging it and you won't be able to film like a single YouTube video without having to worry about it dying. So I like watched some like TikTok reviews and stuff and YouTube reviews, and people recommended this battery, like this battery kit thing off of Amazon. It wasn't that expensive, I don't believe. Basically comes with 2 spare batteries that come in this little box. One is missing because one is in my camera right now. Anyways, it comes with 2. The second one is in my camera. It comes in this little plastic wrapping, and it has the, hello? I don't have my product thing turned on right now. It has, please connect, focus. Okay, wait, I'm gonna turn on the product mode. That's something that also kind of pisses me off about this camera, because to turn it on to the product mode, I have to completely stop recording and then put it back on. But this is the battery camera that I bought. It has the plus, minus, everything. Back looks like this, and it works great. I think this has more battery life than the actual Sony one itself, which is kind of like crazy for it being an off-brand Sony battery, but that's the truth. It does work better than the Sony battery. I'll say the Sony battery on average lasts maybe 30 to 45 minutes of it being on. So not even it filming, of it just being on. But it comes with a battery charger, which I used for all batteries, even my Sony battery, and it was just really convenient. It comes with 2, and these little lights light green and red to tell you when it's like dead or whenever it's finished charging, and this worked for my Sony battery perfectly fine as it worked for the 2 off-brand batteries, and it made my life a lot easier. Comes with a charger, which is a USB charger, so if you don't have a USB port, figure it out. You're gonna have to figure it out. But this was an essential to filming, because one battery is not enough, and charging the batteries, this just made charging easy because I just plop it back in and plop it back out. I would definitely recommend buying the 2 extra batteries because you will need them, and you'll notice that very quickly after trying to film a single video and your battery wants to die after 15 minutes of filming. So this is everything you will need to film your videos as conveniently as you can get for the most part. I will have all of these products in the description down below, and yeah, obviously there's more things you could get, like maybe if you want like a flash, because this camera does not come with a flash, but the same way that I popped the wind puff into the camera is the same way you can pop an extra mic, like an extra like actual mic, or an extra like flash, so when you take pictures it can also have the flash, because this camera does not have a flash, but you can make it have a flash with the extension on to where the wind puff is. Also like a camera case. I did not buy a camera case, but those are also other things, or a screen protector. I would also get a screen protector. I personally did not have a screen protector, but then I also didn't really drop, or I dropped it once, but it was on this carpet, so it lived. But those are pretty much the main things that you will need. And I haven't ever come across a scenario where I needed a product that I didn't already have. So these products will really just get you through everything that you need to get through to film a video. With that, I will get into my personal thoughts as well as why I am returning this camera. So overall, this camera was an exceptional camera for its price point. Obviously, I feel like with any camera, there are going to be pros and cons, but for me, I feel like this camera did work out for me in every single aspect. The only con, like a lot of my cons are things that are easily fixable. I personally don't like the viewfinder being on the side that much because I feel like it's more obvious me looking at the camera versus looking at the viewfinder than it is for like the G7X, where it's like I'm looking at the camera and then I'm looking at the viewfinder right up there. But like that's not that big of a deal for me. Like I don't really care, and I've learned over time. Like obviously when I first got the camera, it was really hard to not look at myself, but over time I have to just like I've gotten used to like learning to talk to the camera and not the viewfinder. And I'm still learning. Like even through this video, you're gonna see me look at the viewfinder a lot of times. Part of it is just to make sure that one, it's recording, and one, that I'm in frame. But you do get used to like just looking at the camera. That's also not that big of a deal, so I don't mind that either. And a lot of cameras do just have the viewfinder on the side versus the top. That's not a deal breaker for me. The main deal breaker for this camera actually was the color, which is like, girl, what? But that's the reason why I am returning this camera. I love the white, and the only problem is the mic, because the mic within the 1 month I've had, it's already gotten like, it just gets dirty really easily, and I don't like that. And like right now, just looking at it, it is a lot dirtier than when I first got it, and I just feel like it just de-enhances the look of the camera. So I am returning it to get the black version of this camera, just because the white one does get dirty easily. I have 3 minutes of film footage left on the camera, so I will have to switch to this SD card in a second. You will also get an icon in like the corner. For me, it's on this corner of how many minutes you have left of recording. And then if you switch to the photos mode, it'll tell you how many photos you have left to take before the storage runs out, or how many minutes. And also, wait, I didn't even talk about this, but it takes on average around 1.5 to 2 hours to fully charge a battery. It really does not take that long, and I definitely like that about the batteries. This camera in all did a phenomenal job, fantastic job. And like some things, okay, I have 1 minute left of filming. I'm gonna go ahead and switch SD cards because that's just gonna bother me. I am keeping the Sony ZV-1F. I am returning it because I don't like the white. I mean, I do love the white and it's so cute, but it's just not very practical as far as like keeping it clean. I feel like that would just be an extra hassle that I don't think I need to be like worried about. And then also like, there's been many times when like I'll set the camera down on somewhere and it leaves a little scrape mark, and every time it scrapes, it leaves a black mark, which like if this camera was black, you wouldn't even be able to see the scrape, I assume so. The camera itself, it kind of does everything that I needed to do. And then even like things I do get kind of like frustrated about, it's not that big of a deal to where I would get a whole other camera, because I feel like the main competitor of this camera is the Canon G7X, and there hasn't been like anything on this camera where it's like the Canon G7X would beat this camera in that aspect. Like I didn't have anything specific like frames per second or like any of that I really cared about. Mine was really just for quality aspects. So if that's the way that you are, I would definitely recommend the Sony ZV-1F or the Sony ZV-1. I know the Sony ZV-1 is a little bit pricier than the Sony ZV-1F, but the Sony ZV-1F really just does anything that you need to do. Like I've never like needed to do anything crazy that I haven't been able to do. Like this thing pretty much gets all the basics done and is perfect for beginner YouTubers like myself. So if that is you, definitely get the Sony ZV-1F. It is worth the investment and it is worth every single penny. I love it so much. The only thing I wish is that it came with more than one battery. But as far as that, that's pretty much my personal thoughts. I don't really have anything negative to say because it's not a good camera. Like it's generally a good camera. Sony did a fantastic job with this camera. With that, it definitely checked off all my boxes. It overpassed like everything, because I was looking at like the good, the bad, the ugly, those types of videos on YouTube, and like the stuff they talk about is like just stuff that's like I don't really know, like frames per second, all that stuff, MPS, I don't know any of that. So it's like I just want a good quality video and it does that for me. So obviously if you care about like the details and all that, definitely do not take my recommendations, because I'm just talking about quality audio, cameras. Oh, also audio is amazing on this camera. However, The first time I filmed a video on this camera, I did not have, I think there's a certain setting. Wait, let me make sure it's on because I just resetted my settings on this camera, right? So that concludes my unboxing and review video. I really hope this was helpful to any single one of you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below any extra questions you have, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you, because having this camera was a big learning process. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, I will be signing out. I'm actually filming this section a little bit later than when I filmed the original video, but I did want to include the price of the products just to give you guys a gist and an estimate at how much it'll be, including all the products I got minus the SD card, because I feel like the second SD card isn't a necessity. It came down to $67 that I spent. Obviously this price could vary depending on Amazon's prices at the moment, also depending on how many gigabytes of an SD card you get. Including the price of the camera, including tax and shipping costs, it came down to $592. So you should expect to spend around $600 getting the Sony ZV-1F, including all of the products. I just wanted to include this to be helpful and give anyone out there just an estimate of what it would be. So